with a directive to provide basic facilities within a certain period or face severe sanctions. The age-long Kara market, mainly operated by Hausa and Fulani from the northern part of the country, is located in Lagos, Ogun State suburb along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The directive was issued by the Special Advisor to the Government of Ogun State on Environment, Mr. Olare Soya, and the Director General of Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Femi Oke Osonyitolu, when the DOE led other officials on an unscheduled inspection of the Kara market following reports of indiscriminate disposal of waste into Kara waterfront. Government officials subsequently sensitized the cattle sellers and meat processors on the need to keep eye hygiene by desisting from disposing waste into Kara waterways. They therefore directed the operators to henceforth dispose waste properly through Ogun State Public Sector Private Participant PSP and waste operators. At this critical period of global health challenge, there is need for Christians to get closer to God in prayers and obedience. The Primate African Church worldwide, His Eminent Most Reverend Julius Abe, stated this during his New Year visit to Africa Church Solution Camp, Sam Ewang Estate, Abeokuta, Ogun State. Elizabeth Esson gives the details.
In the face of global health challenges, it is the responsibility of Christians in all their gatherings to always commit Nigeria and the world at large unto God in prayers and in supplications. In his sermon during the New Year visit to the African Church Solution Camp, Abeokuta, the Primate African Church worldwide, His Eminence Most Reverend Julius Abe, enjoined Christians not to be weary of good deeds and giving helping hands whenever needed.
That gladdens my heart is that God has been using this church to preach the gospel, to propagate the gospel of Christ, to touch many lives, to lift up so many people, to give, to assure people of their salvation, to bring comfort to those who need comfort.
Speaking with journalists after his sermon, the Primate called for prayers for religious and political leaders in order to place the world on its right track.
Nigeria is big, it's a big family, and they should not separate us for whatever reason. You see, and I want to charge all Nigerians as well to continue to pray for these leaders because they need our prayers. I said it in the message today that our leaders need our prayers. They need our support. Let's continue to pray for them as well as continue to live together as brothers and sisters, as one family, as a nation.
The host minister, the African Church Solution Camp, Sam Ewang Estate, Abeokuta, Right Reverend Jeremiah Okunola, affirmed that presently what Nigeria needs from Christians is ceaseless prayers.
It is the duty of the Christian, one, to pray earnestly for the nation and at the same time to do what is right, because the Bible says righteousness exalts a nation. As a Christian, if, okay, now in this church now, I have about over 2,000 people. If I should teach them to do right, to do what is right, and they do that right, you know how they will affect the nation positively.
The visit of the Primate will be to all the branches of the African Church across the globe in the new year. Elizabeth Esson, OGTV News.
The need to promote inclusive society and stamp out corruption, among other social vices, have been emphasized as a way to enjoying good governance in all ramifications. The founder and spiritual head of Shafauddin in Islam worldwide, Professor Sabit Olagoke, stated this while presenting award of recognition to some personalities at the 38th anniversary convention of the Islamic organization in Ibadan, Oyo State. Yusuf Ganiyu reports.
The 38th anniversary convention of Shafauddin in Islam worldwide is an avenue to trash out some of the challenges ranging from security, infrastructure, education and health, as well as youth developments affecting the socio-economic growth of the country. The founder of this Islamic organization, Professor Sabit Olagoke, while dwelling on the topic, Nigerian democracy on the trials of functionality, challenges and the way forward, said there is need to be positive-minded in learning and application to shun poverty of leadership, political instability, socio-cultural differences, poor development policies and implementation.
To promote inclusive society, stamp out corruption, enhance security and good governance, the national policy and legislation need to be practically pursued and imbibed into our culture and psyche as a nation. Education is the most important instrument of change in any society. So also any fundamental change in the intellectual and social outlook of any society has to be preceded by an educational revolution.
The Chief of Staff to the Oyo State Governor appreciated Shafauddin Islamic Organization for their spiritual blessings, adding that the current administration, under the leadership of Engineer Seyi Makinde, is doing everything possible, especially in the area of youth development, to uplift the state.
The greatest resource any government, any administration has, it is people. And if you run a people-oriented administration, you can't but deliver to them the dividends of democracy.
The event also witnessed the presentation of awards to some personalities who have performed excellently well in their profession and contribute to the development of Shafauddin Islamic Organization.
Quitters don't win and winners don't quit. Life is not bed of roses, but I know with determination and focus, you come out with.
If we understand that the same science that we offer here is the same science they offer in overseas, we can compete favorably within the overseas counterparts. Let us encourage our engineers and let's see how Nigeria can move forward.
While the youths are showcasing varieties of activities, the 38th anniversary convention commemoration cake was cut to wrap up the occasion. Yusuf Ganiyu, OGTV News.
Away from that, the world must do far more to advance sustainable development goal, to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres stated this as the world marks 2021 International Day of Education. Education has been described as the foundation for expanding opportunities, transforming economies, fighting intolerance, protecting and achieving the sustainable development goals. When education is interrupted, it affects everyone, especially students, teachers and families. As the world continues to battle COVID-19 pandemic, education as a fundamental right and a global public good, analysts say must be protected to avert a generational catastrophe. The UN scribe Antonio Guterres said even before the pandemic, some 258 million children and adolescents were out of school, with majority of them girls.
On the 3rd International Day of Education, I pay tribute to their resilience in the face of a pandemic that, at its peak, forced almost every school, institute and university to close its doors. Although this disruption has led to learning innovations, it has also dashed hopes of a brighter future among vulnerable populations. All of us pay the price.
United Nations wants world leaders to step up efforts to reimagine education, train of teachers, bridging the digital drive and rethinking curricula to equip learners with the skills and knowledge to flourish in this rapidly changing world. Late Senator Jubril Martin Skuye lived a fulfilled life as a Muslim, a consummate politician and industrialist, a mentor to many, and mentees and a bridge builder. Alhaji Muhyiddin Bello, who was the cleric at the 8th-day Fidal of the Ashiwaju of Agoiwoye, stated this in a sermon at the Fidal. Bumi Adigun was in Agoiwoye and completes the story.
It is the 8th-day Fidal of the late consummate politician and a two-time Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Jubril Martin Skuye. As expected, Muslim clerics, political bigwigs from all over Nigeria, Ogun State government represented by the Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimat Salako Oyedele, friends, families, and sympathizers thronged Agoiwoye the Ijebu North local government area of Ogun State. All COVID-19 protocols were adhered strictly to, according to the Ogun State government directives. Alhaji Muhyiddin Bello was a guest preacher, and as usual, he admonished all to move closer to Almighty Allah and again emulate the good deeds of the deceased.
Minister, we are not the people 1 year.
The Ogun State Deputy Governor, Engineer Mahmoud Salako Yedele, delivered the message of the governor as she commiserated again with the family of the deceased and also described the late industrialist as a consummate politician.
You know that one has missed a wonderful opportunity to know a fantastic man and learn from him. We've also listened to all the tributes that have been passed here today. And what one can say from what I have heard here, this was a humble man, a detribalized Nigerian, and astute politician.
Goodwill messages from former governors, royal fathers, political sons and daughters of the late Ashiwaju of Agoiwe were entertained as they all wished the deceased Aljana Fridaus.
I didn't have any mistake to make me now study my Ashiwaju of Agoiwe. But we see any kind of issue
But Senator Jubril Martins Koye has raised successor. So he's a man who really laid emphasis on worthy succession. And that is why such a person can never die in spirit.
What's that after his death battle, we wanted to start doing something that we will go to the Bible and we have discussed it. And whatever he says we should do is what we are doing.
From the family of Kuye was an appreciative message to all and sundry who have come to be part of the 8-day Fidao.
As a natural teacher, Daddy taught us how to live life by leading with love and kindness in everything that we do. He taught us the importance of family and how family transcends your immediate household and includes your community.
Senator Jubril Martins Koye died on the 17th of January 2021. From Agowi, Buni Adigun, OGTV News.
Ogun State government has condoled with the family of former General Manager, GM, Ogun State Agri Corporation, Alhaji Mudiu Rabiu, who died at the early hours of Sunday at his residence, leading government's delegation to the family house of the deceased, who until his death was the chief imam of Odoshelu's Central Mosque in Ijebu Northeast Local Government. The state deputy governor, Engineer Noimot Salako Oyedele, in company of her husband, Alhaji Bode Oyedele, said the news of his death came as a rude shock. She described late Rabiu as a God-fearing man and a supportive husband, going by the contribution of his wife to the development of the Federation of Muslim Women Association of Nigeria, FOM1.
I haven't met Alhaji. I have met Alhaja, so I know what loss this is to us in Ogun State. A loss to the family. I understand he was also chief imam here, so it's also a very big loss to the community here. But the prayer is that Almighty Allah will accept his good deeds, overlook his shortcomings, and grant him Al-Jannah Firdaus. On behalf of the government of Ogun State and the good people of Ogun State, I want to express our condolences to the family of Alhaji Mudiu Rabiu, Alhaja, the children, and everybody else on his demise.
Also speaking, the Chief of Staff to Governor Abiodun, Alhaji Afolabi Salisu, who admonished the family to remain united, said it is more important to fair and render services to God than to be religious. Alhaji Rabiu, who died this Sunday at the age of 84, was the husband of former state Amira Al-Aja Kudirat Rabiu. Appreciating the state government's delegation, son of the deceased Mr. Razak Rabiu said the entire family is grateful for the visit and identifying with the family. You're watching OGTV Comprehensive News. More news and reports after the break. Do join us again. Welcome back. Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has asked the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadia Umar Farouk, to publish details of the proposed payment of 729 billion naira to 24.3 million poor Nigerians for 6 months. The non-governmental organization also wants the Minister to provide details about the machineries and mechanisms and logistics for the payment, list of beneficiaries, how they have been selected, projected payment per state, and whether the payments will be made in cash through bank verification number or other means. SERAP request follows the announcement by the Minister last week that the federal government would pay about 24.3 million poor Nigerians 5,000 naira each for a period of 6 months. She had disclosed the plan at the inauguration of the federal government emergency intervention database for the urban poor, saying the payment would serve as a cushion for those further impoverished by the COVID-19 pandemic. But SERAP is demanding an explanation of the rationale for paying out the amount, which it says translates to 5% of the country's budget of 13.6 trillion naira for 2021. It also wants to know if the proposed spending is part of the 5.6 trillion naira budget deficit. As the 7-day ultimatum issued by Ondo State Governor Mr. Rotimi Akeredolu to Fulani herdsmen to vacate the state forest reserves expired on Sunday, there is an indication that the Southwest governors would meet with the leadership of the Métis Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria on Monday. It was gathered that the meeting would be held in Akure, the state capital. According to source, the meeting was meant to find lasting solution to the incessant killing, kidnappings and crisis between herdsmen and farmers in the region. The Ondo State Chairman of MACBAN, Alhaji Bello Garba, who confirmed the development, said the national leadership of the association had arrived in Akure in preparation for the peace meeting. Representatives of Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, the Deputy Chairman, Oyo State Council of Obas, Oba Francis Alao, who is the Olugbon of Orile Igbon in Surulere local government area of the state, and the commissioners of police in the state, Ngozi Onodeko, on Sunday inspected the houses and vehicles burnt in Igangan. The special advisor to the governor on security matters, Mr. Fatayo Wosheni, led the government's delegation to the location. They also pleaded with the youths to allow peace to reign and assured them that the police and other security agencies will carry out a thorough investigation into the crisis in order to find a lasting solution to the security challenge in the area. The Olugbon pleaded with the people to ensure violence, saying there would not be development in any area devoid of peace. He assured them that the government would intensify efforts to ensure that insecurity in the area was stopped permanently. He said they should not allow the issue to degenerate into any ethnic crisis. Owosheni told the youths that violence would not solve the problem, but assured them that government would work more with the people to ensure their security and Development. Threats by the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, to arrest Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as, over his alleged involvement in the violence that took place in Oyo State received serious knocks from the Middle Belt Forum on Sunday. The organization also supported the quick notice handed by Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State on Fulani terrorists to leave the forest reserve in the state. The MBF specifically warned the federal government against any action that would escalate the ongoing tension as demonstrated by the arrest order on Igbo. The national president of MBF, Dr. Pogo Betrus, expressed their view in a statement in Abuja. According to him, Akeredolu's quick order was meant for unregistered herdsmen occupying the forest and involved in kidnapping and banditry. He said what the presidency and the police ought to do now is to assist various states to flush out these criminals. Arresting Igbo at this moment can only escalate the growing tension into a raging fury that may further lead to a dreadful, unfortunate incident and uncertainties nationwide. More than 25 million COVID-19 cases have been reported in the United States since the pandemic began, Johns Hopkins University said just days after President Joe Biden's inauguration. The milestone was reached only 5 days after the U.S., the world's wealthiest and hardest-hit nation, recorded 400,000 deaths from the disease. Biden has made fighting the coronavirus a priority and is pushing for Congress to approve a $1.9 trillion relief package that would include billions of dollars to boost vaccination rate. Biden has said he wants 100 million people vaccinated within his first 100 days in office, and he has called for Americans to wear face masks for the first 100 days. Still on the foreign scene, rescuers in China have freed 11 gold miners who were trapped hundreds of meters underground for 2 weeks. TV footage showed the first miner, who was blindfolded to protect his eyes from the light, being lifted out as emergency workers cheered. The fate of 10 other miners remain unknown as rescue operations continue to try to locate them. The entrance tunnel to Austin Hold gold mine in Shandong province collapsed after an explosion on the 10th of January. A total of 22 miners are trapped in the blast, the cause of which is unknown. At least one died, and it is still not known if the remaining workers are alive underground. In sports, Rivers United defeated South Africa's side Celtic 3-0 in the first preliminary stage second leg tie of the CAF Confederation Cup tie at the Stadium in Port Novo on Saturday to advance to the playoffs of the Continental Club competition. Rivers advanced 5-0 on aggregate, having won the first leg 2-0 in Bloemfontein. The fixture, which was earlier scheduled for January the 6th at the stadium in Port Harcourt, was moved to neighboring Benin Republic city Port Novo by the Confederation of Africa Football after strict COVID-19 regulations by the Nigerian government prevented the South African delegation from entering the country. Rivers will play another Nigerian side, Enyimba, in the playoffs for a place in the group stage of the Confederation Cup. Still in sports, Conor McGregor was left stoned in his return to the UFC as Dustin Poirier claimed victory in their rematch at UFC 257. McGregor came out of retirement for a third time to face fellow 32-year-old at Abu Dhabi's Fight Island. Although the Irishman edged the first round and unleashed a flurry of punches to seal a technical knockout 2 minutes 32 seconds into round 2. We shall now start with the weather forecast for tomorrow. Remind you that success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. Don't forget that you can now watch us live on these platforms: Apple, Roku, Windows, BlackBerry, Facebook, and Android devices. You can also watch us live on our website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. That's it on our comprehensive news package for today. Thank you very much for watching. I am Olayinka Shodunke.
Research has shown that 1 in every 3 children below the age of 5 in Nigeria suffer at least one form of malnutrition. This equates the situation in Nigeria to what is commonly found in war-torn countries. Yet Nigeria cannot be addressed as a war-torn country. Giving our children the right combination of food they need for proper mental and physical growth is a very important national duty that we all must perform. And nutrition experts say that we don't need huge sums of money to do this. When our children are not allowed to reach their full mental and physical potential, our country will automatically fail to meet its potential for greatness. We cannot afford for this to happen. Let us help to reduce all forms of malnutrition. My name is Aisha Buhari. Join me to fight malnutrition in children.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the weekly review of activities of the Prince Dapo Abiodun-led administration in Ogun State. The program tagged Building Our Future Together is the mantra of the administration aimed at taking the Gateway State to higher pedestal. My name is Opeyemi Adewumi. I welcome you on board. Basic Health Care Provision Fund and the Health Care Insurance Scheme of the Ogun State government will commence in the year 2021, which will help to further make qualitative health care delivery available to the people and further reduce the infant and maternal mortality rates in the state by 25%. Commissioner for Health Dr. Tomi Koka stated this during the Budget 2021 Media Parley held virtually. Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure disclosed that the completion of ongoing projects embarked upon by the current administration is a top priority, assuring the road projects will be evenly distributed across the 3 senatorial districts.
Budget 2021 in Ogun State is tagged a budget of recovery and sustainability. The current administration deemed it fit to intimate the public with the breakdown of the budget, hence the media parley.
The objective, like I said, is to allow the public to have a detailed breakdown of what the budget for 2021 in Ogun State looks like. This particular ambition is anchored on 4 key economic goals. The first one, of course, is the real sector growth. We want to achieve real sector growth that is domesticated in the state, The second one, of course, is job creation.
and the capital is 172 billion, while the recurrent is 167 billion. A large chunk there is internally generated revenue, which is higher than the projection for last year.
The budget size for 2021 is 338.6 billion naira, with 49% as recurrent expenditure